to try to break down gridding in the simplest way possible. So we believe crystals have all this energy and power in them, right? Making a grid is about directing that power to do what you want it to do. So you can make a grid in your bedroom to help you sleep. A lot of people like making prosperity grids. That's actually what we're going to do today. You can make grids for healing. You can make grids for attracting love. The possibilities are endless, and you can get really, really into this. For instance, you could make a grid in your room for sleeping, and you could only use the crystals that are recommended to help you sleep. Absolutely, that's a great way to do things. However, if you don't have a huge array of crystals and you want to make a grid, you could make an entire sleeping grid out of clear quartz, and it's the intention that you're putting in it. Or you could put mostly clear quartz and 1 or 2 stones to help you sleep. So gridding there's absolutely a science to it, but also you absolutely can't mess it up. Today I thought that we would make a prosperity grid. That's one of the ones I get asked about a ton, and I have chosen to put pyrite in this grid. You guys know how I love pyrite. So one thing that you do need for a grid is something to put in the center. And you want something that is going to direct the energy upwards. When you're putting a grid down, you don't want all the energy to just sit there, right? You want it to actually go somewhere. So when you put something in the middle that points upwards, a generator, a sphere, even a rough piece that kind of stands up, it's going to take all the energy of the grid and it's going to make it go up. So that's kind of how you can kind of tell yourself if something's going to be okay in the middle of a grid. So spheres absolutely work because, as you see, the energy can come up and it'll still come up in the sphere. Big rough pieces, like it doesn't have an absolute point that goes up. But still, if the energy's laying down here, it's going to hit this and it's still going to go upwards. So that's what you want. And you can absolutely use something big like this, but you don't have to. Something as small as this will still work. It's going up, that's the important part. Tiny little selenite towers, you can find these everywhere. You can make grids with really small stones. You can make grids that are really inexpensive and they can still be super, super powerful, guys. Tiny little pyramid. I have made such a strong grid with this in the middle before. The size doesn't really matter, and you can absolutely find something in your price range to put into the middle of a grid. Sit. Okay guys, these are some of the stones we're going to use today. These are green Aventurine. Green Aventurine is a great thing to use in a prosperity grid. It's known as a stone of good luck, and it does attract money. These are all citrine. Citrine is another one that is so good to use in a grid. Citrine is called the merchant stone. If you have a business, citrine is really good to keep in the register. This is actually a citrine point too. It doesn't have as dark of a color, but do you see the really, really cool phantom in there? So when a crystal stops growing and it gets kind of like dust on it, and then it continues growing, that's what creates phantoms. And this has some really cool phantoms in it. This citrine of mine, this is a Smoky Citrine, and this is another one that has some phantoms in it. See right there, the phantoms. And this actually also has these double past life windows on it. This is just a really, really cool crystal. So citrine's another one that's so good for gridding. This is a garnet, and garnets are so beautiful when you get like really good light on them. Let me bring a little light onto this. See how beautiful the garnet is when you can see the red inside of it? Garnet is like the manifestation stone. So not only is it good to use in a prosperity grid, but garnet is good to use for whatever it is that you want. These are just some clear quartz points that we're going to use. These are some clear quartz pieces. This is a piece of moldavite, which I just like using because it has a lot of power and it is green. I have a few Herkimer diamonds here that we might put in some. We're just going to play with all this stuff and have some fun. The first thing we're going to do, obviously, is put something in the center. I'm going to use this little citrine point, and that's where we're going to build everything off of. Now, usually with the grid, you do want to keep things kind of geometrical. So I'm going to go in next with the green Aventurine, and I'm just going to lay them out like this. And next I'm going to do some clear quartz, and same thing, I'm just kind of putting them across from each other. Now, okay, even if you wanted to split this up a little bit now and do a couple of citrines right here, you can absolutely do that. You can even do this with 4 separate stones. The one thing that you do, or that I like to try to keep equal, to keep a little bit of balance, is to make sure the stones are approximately the same size. That seems to help a lot with like the geometric power of it. But actually I kind of like that. And that's what happens a lot with gridding. You'll put something in, you're not sure about it, you'll take it out, substitute it with something else and realize that you like that better. And that's where your intuition comes in and you can kind of just play with things, and it is a lot of fun. So I'm gonna keep that like that, even though it's a little bit unbalanced. And I'm gonna go in with this pyrite. You guys know how I love pyrite. I did a whole video on pyrite, and I will link that below for you if you wanna check it out. It's one of my favorite prosperity crystals. Oh, so I can feel a lot of energy in stones, and when I'm putting a grid together, I can actually feel the energy like hitting me and changing as I'm putting it together. So this in itself could be a really, really nice finished crystal grid. Putting points on the outside is always a good idea. And I'm just going to put them on these pyrites right here. And again, you just play with it. So you do it like this, you see how you like it, and then change it and put it on these ones. See if you like it better this way. One of my favorite things to do with a grid, I make it geometrical first, and then I expand it a little bit. So I'm actually going to expand it the other way. So this is where I'll put like specialty stones kind of. So like I'm gonna put a moldavite right here, and then I'm going to put a point right there. And on this side, I am going to put this really cool citrine point. And then I'm going to put this garnet. And then I'm going to take a few points and point it off of the garnet. So right there, I wasn't like following any rules or any patterns. I'm just kind of going with it. And now I feel like I need more on this side. So I'm going to expand this out a little bit and put maybe this double terminated citrine point right there. And these are little Herkimer diamonds. Whoa. These are little Herkimer diamonds, and I feel like adding these in. So just glancing at this, one easy place would be at the ends of all the pyrite. This is a really cool little prosperity grid, guys, and just because I kind of want to use everything on the table, I still have a couple of clear quartz points, I have a couple of natural citrines. Actually, let's make a whole new grid. So this is one great example of a prosperity grid, and now let's just start over because I want to use more pyrite. So this time, I'm gonna put this in the center because I love pyrite. And even though this isn't a point or a sphere, Still, all the energy that's down here can hit this and it's still going to go upwards. So this is still, in my opinion, fine to put in the middle of a grid. And this time I think I will start with clear quartz. Clear quartz makes everything else stronger, so it's always great to put in a grid. And then I'm going to go in again with the green Aventurine. I might make this one more like a diamond. You can play with this, guys. You can't mess this up. Okay, so I'm trying to do like a diamond shape here. And these are black tourmaline. I really like using dark stones, like protective stones and grids, as kind of like a filter, because you want to attract things in your life, but you don't want to attract the wrong things in life. So putting black tourmaline or another protection stone in a grid, I feel like is a great way to just add a layer of whatever. Okay. Now I'm going to add some more pyrite. I'm gonna do them off of the green ones. So again, you could stop right here. This is a great little grid, but I'm gonna keep going. And let's see. I think I will do a garnet up here and the moldavite down here, and then make crystal points going off of those. Ooh, I really like this one. I think I'll add the Herkimers and then I'm just gonna leave it alone. And I feel like they would be good right in here. I don't like that. Yeah, much better. What a cool little grid, guys. So you could put this little prosperity grid anywhere in your house or where you work. Some recommendations would be, if you have a home office, put it in your office. If you work on the computer a lot, like if you have a computer-based business, keep it on your desk or near your desk. Keep it near you where you're doing your work, where prosperity can like help flow to you. Another good place, if you keep it in the back left-hand corner of your house, that is in feng shui your wealth corner. It's great to put things for prosperity in your wealth corner. So even if you don't make a whole grid, just keeping one of these stones in the prosperity corner, also a great idea. But those were just some examples of how to do little prosperity grids for you guys. I hope that you learned something. I hope you really liked it, and I really hope that you try it for yourself. And let me know down below if you've made one of these, if you've had any cool experiences with it, but also what other kind of grids do you guys want to learn how to make? Because we can make anything and it's so much fun and I love doing these. So everyone, just let me know what else you want to see. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it. Please share this with your friends if you have any friends that love crystals or want to learn about gridding. I'll see you guys next time.